Pokemon is a gigantic hobby, and if you only follow the popular mainstream YouTubers, you'll think that the only way you can make money and collect for cheap or for free is to pull big hits, get PSA 10s, have distribution, or scalp. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Well, hello there, Steve here on my journey to catch 'em all. So on all these graded return videos, you'll see all these big giant numbers, and I've never liked that because, first of all, it doesn't account for the cost of the card, it doesn't account for the cost of the grading, it doesn't account for the fees, it doesn't account for how much you paid for the card, which that part's subjective, so I'm not even going to include that in mine. But throughout this video, you're only going to see numbers of cards that I've actually sold since I recorded this video, which was right after I got it back a couple weeks ago. So what you're going to see is the value I sold it for, minus the fees, minus the cost of grading, minus the value of it raw. And you'll get the value gain that I got from grading it. So at the end, we're going to see the value gain from grading. Nothing to do with it all sold for this much, because it has really nothing to do with how much money was actually made. And today I have a gigantic return that I got back. 206 cards, maybe not gigantic to some, but big for me. And I just want to go through it. So we're going to start off. I'm not going to show you every card because some of the 9s are just not worth looking at. So about the 9s, they're not something I really want on my eBay store because they sell slowly. It just clutters up my virtual shelves, as you may. And so I created this listing that's a mystery listing that just sells these slabs way faster for me because people just want to buy a bunch of slabs without having to pick a bunch or buy this one and that one. So all the 9s I got in this return have already sold. As you can see, all 120 slabs I've listed on this have sold. So there's going to be our starting value, which is negative because I lose on this listing, but it's just a way for me to recoup my grading fees on my misses because the 9s are my misses. So we can have a little bit of fun to see if my grading gain can overcome my misses. But I'm going to show you the cards that did not get a 10 that I think are worth looking at. This Snorlax is awesome. I got a bunch of cards in this return from a collection that I paid basically $1 per card for. So a lot of it was bulk, but it's like vintage bulk that I've been selling already and making a ton of my money back. So I think I only need to make like $200 more back because I've been selling bulk as these have been getting graded. This is one of them. I don't know the values. I'll just kind of go through them. This is another card from that lot. WotC Hollows that aren't 10s still sell, like 7 through 9s still sell. Anything lower than that, I mean, it's probably better to just keep it raw. I was really hoping this would get an 8, but a Gengar Fossil in the 7, I guarantee you it'll sell for, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks. I've watched so many PSA returns, and they're like giving out all these values, and I'm like, okay, does that include fees? Did it really sell for that much? Like, did you actually sell it? And they're like, I made $10,000 on this. I'm like, okay, let's see some proof. And I'm not saying I doubt people, but like, I want the real numbers. So this is a card I got off TCG Player. I thought it was so clean. I'm actually not so clean. I thought it had a chance at a 10. And it's another card that I thought in a 9 would be fine. Gyarados, super popular. This is age. This is old now. 2017. What the heck? 8 years ago. This is another card. I actually bought both of these from my binders. I thought they had chance at 10s. So I went ahead and sent them for grading and bought backups. They didn't get 10s, so that was an unsuccessful thing. This is a card in English that's just popped the heck off, and it is Tomokazu Komiya, one of my favorite artists, one of a lot of people's favorite artists. Plus, this just has such a cool theme. This card is expensive in English already. PSA 10 is a crazy value, but in Japanese it's still pretty cheap. It's not a bad play in my opinion. This is a card I opened myself back in the day. Another one I had back in the day. I knew the centering was a little off. You can see it's a little thick on the right, but these are cards that I've been holding for a while, and I was like, I might as well just send them. Because there was like a $13 a month special. So, Venusaur. This is a card I pulled myself from Sky Splitting Charisma. These are cards that I've been trying to get a 10 of for so long. These Ditto sticker cards are impossible 10s. Obviously there's some pop out there, but for me it has been just absolutely undoable. And so I thought I'd share it. So if you have some, I'd look through it because they're probably worth some money. 151 nines, so boo. This is a card I got from Catch 'em All Collectibles' live stream. They said it was super clean, and it was pretty clean. I really thought it could get a 10. I'd have to inspect it to see. Still looks so clean to me. I have no idea. Is it the centering? I mean, maybe a little thin on the bottom. Yikes. And then this card I actually got upcharged for from the $13 grading fee to $18.99. I think it's worth like around $500 again. We'll see. I actually have one of these already from my childhood in a 9, so I can sell this one. So these are the two cards that have actually sold. This is the purchase bonus from, I think, this is from Best Buy. This is one of the ways that you can make money back when you're buying new sets. They always have release promos, and a lot of times it's like good Pokemon, like starters or Pokemon people like. So if you can manage to get a couple and get a 10, it often pays for a lot of my initial packs for a set, like 75 bucks. This was for Stellar Crown, I think. So that's a whole ETB and a booster bundle for one promo card. I'll take it. And then this card sold in a 10. I think I had it underlisted, but the market's so crazy, it's really hard for me to tell. I'd sold for 100. And there are cards out there that are worth more. And by the time you see this, this could be worth a lot more than that even. But what I do is I look at market price. I see, and by market price, I mean whatever's on eBay at the time. I just try and be the lowest listed or close to. This is the card that has some story behind it. If you know about the Hypno from the vintage days where he's like creeping on that little kid, this Drowsy's like about to evolve. It's like the prelude to that card. And any of these 151 reverses have been selling so good for me. And then there's certain artists that you might want to sell too, which is, this one is Shinji Kanda. He's the one that did the Giratina from Lost Origin. He's got some great cards out there right now, so I know those cards sell. This is another card from that collection, classic collection cards. Mewtwo, low pop because it's not a rare card, but there are Mewtwo collectors out there that want every Mewtwo. Another 151 reverse, those just sell. These reverses I think are just so cool, the ancient or future cards, because it's a different reverse than the rest of the set. They're kind of cool Pokemon. They are very important to the game, and I know it'll sell. Sylveon, no explanation needed. People want this card in a 10, even though it's not rare. Guarantee the pop's decently low. Classic collection. Again, that was from that collection purchase, and this is how you can make collection purchases cheaper free. Reverse Holo 151 is by finding some 10s and selling them, and it makes up a ton of the value that they're not really counting for when you're selling raw cards. Brilliant Stars, that was from that collection too. Nothing special, but turning a $3 card into a $15 card is how you get by with little money. Swablu, this isn't a popular artist or anything, but this is really me just experimenting a little bit to see if there are collectors of sets out there. Like this Swablu and the Flittle, they're real borderline, like not the best slabs, so they might not ever sell, but I'm pretty sure Swablu will, because that's a popular Pokemon. But the Flittle, we'll see. Cubone, if you don't sell cards, you might not know, but Cubone has so many fans out there, and I really hope it's not for the obvious reason that they have a connection with Cubone, but with the moon, like, Cubone cards have so much character always. I love Cubone cards myself for that exact reason. Vulpix, popular Pokemon, those six tails just chilling, keeping him warm. Or her. Raichu, lots of Raichu lovers, and this card is really cool. I get so many Mimikyu. This Mimikyu will sell so fast. I think I sold this card the first time for like 70 bucks. It's my second time sending it in. Togepi is another popular Pokemon. Obviously has anime connections. It's just a cool Pokemon. Yukamori, clay artist. Beautiful cards. It's amazing. Like, somebody can make that with clay. It couldn't be me. Another Raichu. You'll notice like a lot of similar Pokemon. It doesn't matter like what card it is, because I'm targeting the niche of people that like to collect a certain Pokemon. Same Mimikyu, but in holo version this time. Lapras, popular Pokemon. Paldean Fates has become quite a good set. These are cards that I bought these booster boxes back when they were like 40 bucks, like Detective Pikachu boxes. Nobody wanted those, but I thought they were awesome, so I graded a bunch of them this time. I just think they're unique arts. Like, really cool. This is a card I bought for $15, and like raw, it's like 35 bucks. I got this off of Catch 'em All Collectibles live stream on Fanatics, and they said this one was clean too, and it definitely was. I thought for sure this one would get a 10. I looked at comps back then. I think it was like 150, but who knows in this market. It's actually a team up card, so expensive packs that comes out of. Persian Tag All-Stars. All the Tag All-Stars cards. It's just, it's like prismatic. Like, that set is just magic to open. I wish I would have bought so much more. Giratina is a popular Pokemon Tag All-Stars. Again, Pokemon Go are Japanese boxes you could buy for like 30-35 bucks, and I've sold so many of these like popular like there's only popular Pokemon in Pokemon Go, and they all sell. Like, these will sell for 30 bucks a piece, which turns from $13 grading fee into $15 in my pocket each time. And they're cool cards. Like, people appreciate this. Like, people will be like, oh, you're just ripping them off. Like, I really don't think so. They would be able to resell these one day because they're just going to get older, harder to get in 10 because people don't take care of all these regular holos. So I got a couple Charizards. I bet these will sell for more than 30, but... And they don't even... The people that buy these kind of cards, they don't want to sell them. Like, they're trying to keep them for the long haul. Like, they collect because they like it. So they're pleased to not have to do the work to buy the booster box or open the pack and hope to get a 10 and then have a PSA membership and then send it in and know how to pre-grade it. Like, they really appreciate the service. I have so many people thank me. This is a theme on my channel. I'll probably sound like a broken book, but I think it's still valuable for you to see the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And these graded returns are a real big indicator. Oh, there's my camera. Dedenne, Tag All-Stars. I'm not just sending every card. You'll see I have a ton of cards that I don't send and I'll just sell on TCG Player. So another Pokemon Go, like Tyranitar, like just cool mons, like the fire in the background. I actually graded a few of these at CGC and got the pristines, and they sold for more than the PSA 10s, but I'm just not trying to do that. Ooh, there's some speck on there. The holos on these are so dark. I seriously wish PSA would just send the cards in the order, because like I had all the Detective Pikachu cards next to each other, but they don't, and I don't know why. Especially when, like, I send with my friend Blue, they mix up our cards, so I have to look at the cert of every card, because sometimes we'll send similar cards. Now, the future card with the alternate holo, Gardevoir-ish, like, cool card. Card that no people are grading, or very few. Barry, that's a $2 to hopefully, $10 type deal. Palafin, same deal. Gold Octillery, I have no idea. I haven't looked up the price, but Battle Styles isn't super popular, so I can't imagine there's a ton of PSA 10 Octillery Golds out there. Not that many people want them, but there's a person for every Pokemon card. Phoebe Rainbow, these all came from that one collection where I got them for like $1 a card at the end of the day. So even though these were considered a more chunk of the value when I bought the collection because there was some bulk cards, it doesn't matter because these kind of things make up for so much. Celebi, popular Pokemon, one of my favorites. Psyduck, cool. Morlul, I just like these reverses from Detective Pikachu, honestly. I didn't really have any other reason besides that. This came from a This is just from the regular set. There is like a Go promo version where in Japan, when you buy a booster box from distribution, they give you like promo packs with promo cards in them. but a lot of times the Japanese sellers just keep them. They don't send you the promo packs. But for Pokemon Go, there was one with Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, and Dragonite, and Dragonite V-Star. I think one of the Charmanders is in here. Esper, I got this from Cool Trainer Ryan. I know he likes the Espers. It's like a little kitty, so I'm sure there are other cat lovers that love them some Esper. Dragapult, I know there's Dragapult lovers out there. Sylveon, we got more Go. Popular Pokemon. You get like 2 of each of these per box. So you sell one for $30, and like at the price point that I bought in, it's nothing. Tomokazu Komiya, Shiny Star V, more Pokemon Go. This card, look at this. Slowbro stoically looking over the ocean on a dock. Like, I'm a Slowbro lover myself. So. Pokemon Go. So I have a lot of cards. I'm not going to talk about everyone. These are cards that I got out of the collection too. Tag All-Stars are all cards I pulled myself. So I was able to get, so this was a 206 card return. I got 146 10s, which means that I got 69s which means I got 69s or lower and Tomokazu Komiya. So my rate was 70%, which is decent. You would obviously want 100%, but if somebody has an over 50 card return and has 100%, send it to me. I need to know if it's possible. I genuinely do not think it's possible. If you sent 50 black labels, they're going to give you a 9. I genuinely believe that. And if I'm wrong, please prove me wrong, because that would actually give me a lot of more faith in PSA. This card is so cool. These IRs, like, they're going to age well. I really shouldn't sell them all right away, but that's how I run my collection, so I can just buy another collection once I have enough money to buy more. Because this is how I get collections for free and just fill holes in my binder. Another collection card. Arcanine, super cool. The hats are growing on people. More Dragapult. More Dragapult. I need to message my Dragapult guy and tell him I got some more selection here. Veluza, cool card. Lots of Pokemon. But looks like they're mostly the same other than the Staryu. But again, IR, super cool. Shibuya. Arcanine, popular. Not. Some of these lower rarity cards, they sell slower. They do. They're less liquid. But for somebody like me who doesn't rely on this for income, I don't care how long it takes to sell. I'm trying to find those end collectors because it makes my end collection grow. And I'm not here trying to get distribution and quit my job, and that's not the kind of person I want to be in the Pokemon hobby. So I don't. This is a card I got in the collection, Roaring Moon. They're just sending out 10s. Like most, when I'm buying collections, I often like to see a little bit of Japanese because I know they're going to grade well. So I can make up some value. Look at this Moltres with the moon. Moon Moltres? That's got to be a Moontrez. Snorlax. Alright, we're on the last giant stack. More 151 cards. Who's this? This is Scav. His artists have caught my eye. I haven't heard anybody else talk about him, but again, it's 151. Cool art. These cards are really underrated. They don't really have, they do have some holo trainers in English, but these are called TR cards, so. I think this card's so cool. Red's Challenge and holo from Double Blaze. Like, I just genuinely like this card. This is one I would keep for my own collection, but I already have some raw, so I don't need it in 10. I'm not really a slab collector. I do have personal slabs because they were cards that are important to me, and it keeps them safe, and I wanted to see what they were graded, but I don't really buy slabs or grade slabs to keep them when they're not cards that I don't have any nostalgic connection to. Obviously, Evolutions, Raichu. This card's great in English, and it's probably only going to go up in Japanese. This was another card that was in that collection. Like, when it all comes down to it, for $1, and now it got a 10. I have no idea the values. So if you're here for that, hopefully it's sold. Another one in that collection. This is one I might keep. I have trouble selling Lugias in 10 because Lugia is probably my all-time favorite. So this is the Chinese cards. Look at English back, simplified Chinese front. I just think they're unique, and they really are fun to open. I think it's pretty underrated. This is another one. And they don't grade that well, so... Because they have, like, weird printing on the back. I think it's more like in English print facilities, not like Japanese quality. So again, all these 10s, like, I really don't know if they will sell. I haven't really sold many Chinese cards. I've sold a couple, but we'll see. They're evolutions. Greninja, obviously super popular. Articuno Hollow. See, again, these are not expensive cards, but look at this red-eyed Articuno. You see how the light comes down in red? Like, it's not textured ultra rare, but when you come from vintage, where hollows were literally the best cards, like, it's hard not to appreciate this stuff. I think, like, look at that in the light. This card is so cool. Wow. Gengar. This is a card in Shiny Star V I graded in a perfect 10 back in the day when I first opened Shiny Star V, and I sold it to some Gengar collector on Instagram for $1,000. Just a regular hollow in perfect 10, sold for $1,000. So that instantly made every Shiny Star V card basically I ever opened free. Drampa, 10. I've had this card sell in English for over $100. Radiant Jirachi, again, not that cool, but good enough to sell. Vanillite, this is one of my experiment cards. Another experiment card, except all 151 cards sell, but I haven't really met a Sandshrew lover. I'm sure there's somebody out there. Magmar, we got Shinji Kanda before the Shinji Kanda hype. People probably don't even know about this card. So cool. I've tried to grade that in reverse a couple times. Tomokazu. Oh my gosh. I would love to see... If any of you have like a Tomokazu or a Kanda or a Clay Art, a Yukimori collection, I'd love to see it. Octillery. Abra. 151. Paldean Fates. Slowpoke. You'll probably notice that as the theme for me because Pokemon that I like, I know somebody else probably likes because I'm pretty standard guy. Slowpoke. You'll kind of see that as a theme. I like the Slowpoke line. So cards that I like, I grade because I'm guessing somebody out there likes them too. Yukimori. 151. And 151 and Tomokazu Kamiya. I know I've sold this non-hollow for 70, and I've sold the reverse hollow for 90 or something like that. So things could have changed as you're watching this. Another 151. But right now, PSA raised the prices to $17 a card. So if I send some of these cards in 9 and they get a 9, it's going to punish me way harder than it has up until now. So I'll have to really think about sending these cards more often. Because right now I have this listing where I sell my 9s and I tell people, like, you're going to get a 9 of a cool card. It could be non-hollow. You're not going to be getting a big prize out of this, but you're going to be getting a cool card. If you have a favorite Pokemon, let me know and I'll try and get it to you. So I'm going to have to raise the price of that because the whole point of that is to recoup grading fees. Like, I'm not trying to make money on my 9s. I just want my grading fees back. They probably sell eventually, but I want them to sell fast because for those, like, I don't really want a bunch of 9 commons on my store. Like, I'm okay with 10s because 10s are cool, but I don't really want a bunch of 9s sitting on my digital shelf. I just feel like it cheapens my store. And I already know I'm not this big high-end store, but I don't want the 9s, personally. Wiglet. People have really come to like Wiglet, and all these cards are so... Or she, although... Come on, that's probably a boy, right? I don't know. People like Wiglet. Shinji Kanda, here's the Blitzel in reverse. So I probably sent these right next to each other so it's sequential. But not that people buy them like that, but if somebody asks me about it, I'll tell them. Alakazam, I've sold this card for $40 before already. Here's another. This is the same Stellar Crown pre-release promo, but this one was from the Pokemon Center, so I got several of these. I think there might be 1 or 2 of these in here, but hasn't sold yet, and I haven't created the listing yet. I've sold one of these for $35, but I sold it to a friend, so I probably could sell it for more online because I know the pop's pretty low. And this is a unique reverse holo pattern. Yukimori reverse. I have somebody already waiting for this specific card. Bulbasaur. I might have to keep this one for my wife, even though look at that goofy guy. Greninja. Super popular. But this is actually worth less than most of the Detective Pikachu cards because it's got higher pop. So that's where, like, picking a little bit less popular but still somebody cares about it, you can make more money because there's it might be less liquid, like it'll sell slower, but you can sell for higher because there's less pop out there. Pop really matters when it comes to PSA grading and making any kind of money. Lickitung, Detective Pikachu. This is another. So every one of the Stellar Crown pre-release promos from GameStop, Best Buy, and Pokemon Center all came with this Terapagos. So you got a Terapagos with every one of the other 3 Pro Bros, Quaxly, Sprigatito, and Fuecoco. So I sent 2 this round. They both got 10s, luckily. Have no idea what they're going to sell for, but it just creates free packs for me to open. Like, I'm always stress-free opening packs when a set first comes out because of stuff like this and doing the quick grading. And if you sell cards right away, you can often make some money back and then rebuy them for cheaper. So this is a Pokemon Center from Surging Sparks. I did not pull many SIRs out of my packs, but that'll make up for it. And the regular card, so I probably got both. Got a 10. This came from that collection, VMAX Climax Eevee. I'm sure that card's been going up recently with all the Eevee hype. Okay, so this is like that. This is one of the Go promo ones. See, it's got a stamp on it this time. And it says gift promo, GFT. Blue Kothig. Latios GX from Miracle Twins, which is Unified Minds in English. Very hard to find, not expensive, not cheap. And Latios are both popular Pokemon. Another gift promo. If you'll recognize these cards from English, they're promos, but in Japanese it's different. I've sold so many of these for $30. Like I just have the Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle. I've just had a constant line of them because I bought 200 of those promo packs for like $1 a piece. Oh, one of my 9s slipped in here, I guess because it was a Pokemon Center one. So I got 1/9 and 1/10 in the Pokemon Center Snorlax ones, and I had to open those because I actually had them in a sealed case and I was going to sell one because selling one made the entire rest of them free. So I was going to sell one so I could free ride, get my initial back. You know, I'm a free rider. And it ripped another box, so I had to open it. And I actually pulled the Charizard and got a 10 on one of the promos. Okay, I ripped 2 boxes. Sorry. And here's the 10. And this card got upcharged as well because it's worth like $600 when actually, story time. So when I first got to see the grades, because I am a weak soul when it comes to looking at grades early, and it was worth $600 when they upcharged me to $18. By the time it got to me, literally 5 days later, it was the cheapest one was $1,000. So I listed it for $1,200. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna try the hype. I might as well list it for higher. It hasn't sold yet. I've had a couple of people message me and tell me I'm crazy, but this is a card I'm not really in a rush to get rid of. I see it going nowhere but up. They're not gonna reprint the 151 Pokemon Center ETBs. It's gonna go nowhere but up. Another Pokemon Center promo. Let's see his appeal. So I did get to send some of my Surging Sparks cards in this. Got Arcanine, Detective Pikachu. Here's another one of the Sprigatito. I already sold one for $75, so I'll possibly raise the price a little more. We'll see. So just another regular promo and a 10. By the way, this is Shinji Kondo as well. Here's the Fuecoco. I really like this one with the reflection. I really like the style on this one. Haven't listed this one yet, but got the 10 on that, making more packs free. Detective Pikachu, Dragapult V, please understand, take this with a grain of salt. I'm on the last couple cards here, but be careful. If you don't send for sure 10s, you're going to lose money on these type of cards. You have to be good at pre-grading. So on that note, like, follow, is this Instagram? Like, subscribe, because I do live streams where whenever I'm doing pre-grading for these returns, I do it on camera. For one, it keeps me accountable, and for two, I can teach people my little tricks of the trick. Okay, I did not appreciate this card. This card is so cool. This hollow pattern is so much better than the new one. Look at that. Just gives so much life to the card. These Tag All-Stars price has been going down. I might end up buying a few more of those. I see it going nowhere but up long term. I've been really enjoying these Tetsu cards, not to mention any of the ETB promos sell. They have liquidity. I've been really appreciating Lolan Diglett lately. I love the little hair and just a cool card. The last card, Ludicolo. I saved the best for last. All right. Hopefully you kind of learned how you can make money, roll unwanted cards or duplicates from your collection into collection dollars to keep buying more products to open packs. Like, it is what it is, you know? So see you at one of my pre-grading live streams. Thanks again for joining me on my journey to catch 'em all.